The other week I was asked to comment on a clip from X. I'm often asked this, so I did, but I'll let you look at the clip first. So that was the clip and this is the post, and I am going to address a few of the comments. And the first one is the cyclist's own comment on the post. Why would you even try to overtake through 2 speed ramps? Well, it was a lethal place to overtake, but this driver was quite insistent. And we can also see the question that I got asked. Would love to know your thoughts on this. Strikes me as both parties needing to ease off a little. And my response was quite straightforward. Quite normal behaviour from the motorist and the ex-cyclist. I wouldn't teach my child to drive or ride like that. And then the normal attempted pile-on started. Graham Steen said, I think everyone, including your child, will be relieved to hear you will not be teaching them to drive or ride. And I'd like everyone to remember Graham's comment, because we are going to come back to that later with a clip of my own. But first, I'm going to do a little bit of analysis on this clip. And the first point's an obvious one. There's no way in the world that this vehicle should have started their overtake there. And pretty obviously it's risky because the cyclist is complaining about it. The nearer you are to the problem, the higher the risk it is. So, the cyclist has got a few options. They can speed up, they can slow down, or they could move. But they do nothing. In the end, the driver gives way, but there's no way in the world I'd advise anyone to start playing chicken with a motorised vehicle like this. And this stubbornness is also backed up by the cyclist's comment later on. The only risk I'm at is of being pinched, clipped or cut off by a driver if he's given a smell of a chance. My consistency of positioning and speed ensured that there was no confusion, and that was my protection. Textbook defensive cycling assured he didn't do that. As you can see with my reply, I don't think that that was defensive cycling. Now there's a vehicle coming in the opposite direction. What options has the cyclist left themselves? If the car overtaking had have carried on, this could have turned into a nasty one, and that's definitely not defensive riding. Luckily the motorist paused their stupidity, but what if they were just as stubborn? Now, remember Graham's comment from earlier about me teaching people to drive or ride. This is footage from one of my lessons where myself and my pupil have a discussion on what we should do if someone would overtake.
Deal with it properly. Why do we need to check our mirrors before we accelerate?
In case anyone's trying to overtake us.
What would you do if someone was overtaking you?
Wait until they have overtaken and do my checks again.
Brilliant, great. So it wouldn't be a good idea just to go, well, I'm safe, I'm travelling at the safe speed, I'm within the speed, I'm driving safely at safe speed myself. Should I just carry on? Would that be sensible?
No.
Wouldn't, would it?
Because using the mentality of, no, I'm in the right, just puts more issues on.
Interesting.
I think, well, at least the stubborn mentality of, I'm doing the right thing, so I'm only going to do the right thing. You have to adapt to, because obviously, if everyone was the perfect driver, using the mentality of, I'm doing the right thing, would be the right thing.
Yeah.
But sometimes you always have that 1 in 100 just driver who'll go, no, I'm in a rush.
Yeah.
And you just need to go, okay, I'll just pull back, and then we'll go.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very interesting that you're saying that as a learner driver as well.
How come?
Super. The only reason being is there was a clip on Twitter recently that I commented, and a cyclist did exactly the same as you described not to. They kept on going, and their argument was, well, I kept my same speed, I kept my same trajectory, if I could speak properly, and I just commented that it was both of them could have done more to fix it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But they were saying no, so it shows that we're going to get to the lights and turn right, please.
Turn right.
It just shows you how much more common sense you've got as a learner driver who's had how many lessons now? We're in a 20 something.
Something, yeah.
So you've had maybe just over 20 hours. And this rider apparently has cycled for 20 years and done 200,000 kilometres. That just puts everything in perspective.
Yeah, it's You've said it so many times, and I've realised this like so much when doing my theory. Like so much of it is just it's just common sense. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. When can you get the steering set? Hand down. Good. Better time. That's big improvement. Well done.
So in summary, this vehicle should never have started the overtake, but you're always going to get idiot motorists, and it's about how you deal with them. In the end, holding the line and the position and the speed did force the other vehicle to slow down. But when you encounter someone who's more stubborn, lives are at risk. There's a massive difference between being positive and being aggressive, and this cyclist, in my opinion, has got it wrong many occasions. And going back to the question that I was asked and my answer, please use this clip as an example of how not to do it. And that's driving and riding.